Getting rich with a service business isn't about luck, it's about following a proven process. I've made over $80,000 in the last 30 days with this specific method, and I'm about to show you how you can do the exact same. This business model is different than 90% of the other service business models you see out there. It's completely online, it's simple, it's scalable, it's built for beginners, and it doesn't take any massive time investment or any massive dollar investment. It literally takes $0 to start this kind of business. And you don't need any previous experience. After doing well over $250,000 this year, this is the best way to build a cash flowing business in 2025. This is the same business model that worked for me and 50 of my other clients that I helped set this up for. 80% of them are making between $1,000 and $10,000 in profit every month, and 20% of them are making over $10,000 a month in profit every single month. You can see the proof in the numbers here. I'm going to show you how myself and many others have built a high profit service business fast using this exact model. In this video, you'll learn exactly what kind of service to get into. You'll have a step-by-step 6-week roadmap to success, and you'll have all the resources I use for myself for free. This video is going to be split into 3 different key parts. The first is the specific industries or niche that you should get into, and the 3 best opportunities that are out there and why it's perfect for this kind of business model. The second is the 3 phases to starting this business. I'll go over the exact steps I followed and all the other clients that I've worked with have followed to find success for this kind of business. And the third, I'll map out a crystal clear 6-week roadmap for you to follow. This roadmap will show you how to reach your first revenue milestone. The brutal truth is people want to work from home and start an online business, but there's not as big of a demand for this as you may think. With everyone getting into marketing agencies, AI, and so much more, there's a gap in the market for real in-person service businesses. There's a massive flock of people rushing into these online business models, which is driving the competition up and leaving a ton of room for everyone else. While AI may be taking over desk jobs, it's not going to be offering in-person property services anytime soon. For example, cleaning. Not too long ago, when a young guy wanted to start a business, he would grab a lawnmower, go door to door, trying to make $20 to cut someone's lawn. The new trend is to grab a phone and start cold calling any kind of business you can find to sell them some kind of software or marketing services. Now there's a way to balance the typical old school lawn mowing service business while also keeping things completely remote and living that location freedom lifestyle. I've done it, there's dozens of other clients that I've worked with who have done it, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it too. There's a choice. Are you going to choose the path to compete with millions of other people in one of the most competitive markets in the world? Or will you steer the other way, gracefully walk down the easy road with nothing but great potential upside? I know the path that I would choose. I would choose the easy path that's going to make me a lot of money fast with the least resistance. So if you're going to choose that exact same path, then listen to the rest of this video because I'm going to break down the exact business model that you can copy to make over $10,000 a month in profit every single month. There are plenty of in-person services that you could try out, and I've personally tried them all. I ran or am currently running all 3 of the business types that I'm about to go over with you. So I'm going to give you real world, no bullshit, pros and cons of each one of these different business types. And then at the very end, I'll suggest to you which type of service you should get into. One of the first services you can offer is lawn care. So all lawn care services, you just throw up on a subscription plan, okay? Like it is 99% subscription plan, which is why this is one of the best models to get into. Subscription, reoccurring customers, lifetime customers, having a high value, super great. The pro about this business is yes, everyone is basically on a subscription plan. You almost rarely ever offer one-off services with this kind of industry, maybe like 5 to 10% of the time. It is super easy to get into, it is super easy to keep remote, and it's super easy to keep track of everything. So overall, probably the easiest to get into of the 3, but now that comes with a lot of cons. One of the first cons is you're not making very much money with this. It's a relatively low ticket service, so you need, hundreds of clients to make really good money. I would say on average, a client profits you around $100 a month using this service in this kind of business model. So to make $10,000 a month, you would need maybe closer to 100 clients if you wanted that pure profit of 10K plus. I guess another pro of this business is the lifetime value is high. You lock someone in, you give them a good service, they come back year after year after year after year. It has like the highest retention rate of any of the other services I'm going to go into. So, if you do get those 100 clients, you do make that 10K a month, they're probably staying with you for, every single year after. Very low churn rate on this kind of service. Now, the other con is it is seasonal. So depending where you live, you can maybe try to operate this 12 months a year, like if you're down in Florida. But if you're anywhere in Canada, it's probably going to have like 6 or 7 months of downtime. You have to ask yourself, is this right for you? Of course, you could always do something in the winter time, Christmas lights, snow removal services, depending where you're living. But it's not as easy as just operating one single service year round. And so for that reason, I would say if you're worried about this not working and you want to give this kind of business model a try, I would start there. Later in this video, I'm going to go through exactly what the business model is and how to set this up and how to keep this fully remote. But for now, I just want to touch on the 3 different services. So while I go through the rest of the steps, you can have something to think about. My experience running a lawn care, it's very easy. Like I said, it's just not a whole lot of money in it. And you're dealing with like 100 clients. You'd probably think it's more work than it is, but I have 100 plus clients that I'm currently servicing, and it's very relaxed. No one calls, no one complains. It's just being serviced on autopilot. So it's very passive, which is one of the great things about this. And it's very easy to get into, just not a whole lot of money very fast. The second industry you could get into is cleaning. So this is either commercial cleaning or residential cleaning. Both work, they all fall under the same category. Commercial is a lot more subscription-like though. Like, once again, 80% subscription when you're working with commercial clients. Whereas with residential, it's probably 90% one-off jobs for the residential cleaning services. So this business model, you can't stack up 100 clients a month. You always gotta be accepting new clients. Of course, you'll start to build slowly a group of clients that are on a subscription plan, but that comes with time. And so, you can never just sit back and relax and have 100 clients on autopilot the way I can with lawn care. You always have to keep hustling. At least you could eventually, but not very quick. So if a lawn care client profits you $100 a month, a cleaning client probably going to profit you $200 to $300 just instantly. So you have to wait 30 days before you make $100 profit off a lawn care client because they're getting serviced every 2 weeks or every week, depending on the type of client. Whereas with cleaning, if it's one and done and you're getting these one-time jobs, it's money quick. You can reinvest that, put it back into ads, put it back into marketing, whatever you're doing to get clients, and just cycle it a lot faster. So cleaning, you have the potential to grow very fast and make a lot of money quick. It's just long-term. Lawn care might stomp it out, but even then, within that 12-month period, there might be a bit more work to do with the cleaning. It might not be as easy going, but you'll almost always make more money doing the cleaning route as long as you have everything set up properly. Now, the third and final service you can offer is snow removal. The pro to this is money. Subscription plan, you're making like a few $100s profit per client per month, which is better than lawn care, better than cleaning, right? So it has the best of both worlds. It's a higher ticket than the other two, and it's a subscription, unlike cleaning, right? So it's a wonderful service to offer, but geographically you're limited. If you're anywhere in the States, you almost can't start this. Canada is a great place to get going on this kind of business. And the other con, it's very hard to operate. So lawn care, the easiest, cleaning, middle, snow, very hard to operate. I've seen other people have little to no success trying to operate this. I've duplicated it over 2 or 3 times now, and it's always tricky. Like, it's never been easy. I have years and years of experience operating these types of businesses, and snow removal is still tricky to this day. Time investment, bigger headache, bigger stress, but it is a lot of money on the other end. So if you're a go-getter and you want to try this out, and maybe you're in Canada and you want to set this up in your city or a nearby city and it's snowing and you can't do lawn care, so you're like, hell, I'm just going to do snow removal right now. If you are doing lawn care, you can do snow removal in the winter. So you can run both of them, right? If you see it fit, that's the standard for the industry in your area. But otherwise, I would probably just stick to one of these 3 niches that I went through in this video here. The way I'm making almost $100,000 a month is with my snow removal company. So it's great, but that's not the one I'm going to recommend to you. After I've thrown these 3 services into your face, you're probably wondering, okay, which one are you going to recommend then? Let's just keep it simple and say that the cleaning company is the best by far for the majority of people. It isn't seasonal, so that means you can keep it running year round and you don't have to worry about 2 separate operations for 2 different services. You can ROI fast because the cash flow is there. Like I said, for lawn care, it might take a whole 30 days to see that $100. But with cleaning, it's as soon as you get that client closed, as soon as you get them serviced, you can even make them payment advance. The profit's back, and it's a lot more, right? To see $300 profit with a clean client, that's 1 visit. To see that with a lawn care client, that might take you up to 3 months. It's a very easy business to automate. It's a bit trickier to automate the snow removal services and hire a VA or implement tasks and systems to keep this hands-free. Even though lawn care is easier in most other aspects, the cleaning one's actually easier to automate down the line. So once again, another reason to recommend that one over the others. So it's just a really good balance of difficulty plus like the payoff and the money you're making from it. And as a bonus, you probably aren't having to learn a bunch of new terms. For lawn care, do you know what aeration and dethatching is? For snow removal, do you know what ice melt does? Or do you know scrape to cement, clear edge to edge? Are you familiar with the standard practices? Probably not. But with cleaning, everyone cleans their house. Everyone knows the terms. Everyone knows what disinfectant does. Everyone knows that sometimes you got to just clean the oven, do the dishes, right? It's very standard basic skills that everyone is knowledgeable on. So it's nothing super new to you. Getting into that industry, well, something else may be a bit of a learning curve to just understand the industry at first. Now, there are 3 phases to set up any one of these services that I went through. I'm set up these phases so that you can go from knowing absolutely nothing about running a service business to running a profitable service business with a clear path laid out the whole way. You'll build skill, you'll get real world learning experiences, and you'll be making money along the whole way. And I've mapped these sections out for you in the 6-week roadmap. The phases are plan, prepare, and generate. The first thing you need to do is plan. You'll have to pick one of those 3 niches or services that I went through previously in this video. Then you want to pick a location to set this kind of business up in. It's fully remote, so I don't really care where you pick. I always say like 500,000 population plus is just a starting point, but realistically you can start this business anywhere. The more population, it's just more potential to grow long term. So if you live in a small town, it doesn't matter. This business is remote. Just go to a bigger city nearby. After you know what you're doing it and where you're doing it, just create some of your company brand. Company name, a company logo, and a company URL with a company email. You can use ChatGPT to generate a name for your company. You can use Adobe Free Logo Generator to generate a logo for your company. Then I would get a company name and create a company website with WordPress. Now, none of these steps should take long at all. It should be really quick. This branding doesn't matter for this business, so just quick 10 minutes, get this all done. Like literally should be so fast. Now, if you aren't sure on how to build a website or set up a domain, or you're confused on this step or any of the other 2 steps I'm about to go through, plan, prepare, generate. I actually have a course that you can find in the link of this description that breaks down every single one of these steps in great detail. This includes a 2-hour video on how to get your website set up and where you're going to be finding clients from. And inside this course, you also get unlimited one-on-one access to me. So it's more than just a course, it's a coaching program. You and I can converse one-on-one, ask any questions you have. It's the one-on-one attention that I find really helps people strive and take this business from 0 to 10K a month fast. And on top of that, we also have a dedicated web designer who will help you out with all things web design in case you get confused on that side of things as well. Now, phase 2 is to prepare. You're gonna prepare to actually start servicing your clients now. You need to understand how to price out your services. So what I would do is set an hourly rate for myself, estimate how many hours a job would take if you were the one who's actually servicing the job yourself, and then add on top any materials, gas, equipment, things like that onto the price so that you're charging for everything, and your hourly would be like the profit if you were actually doing the work yourself. So when you send a quote to the client, you're quoting them for an hourly estimation at your hourly rate. For house cleaning, for example, grab some pictures from the client, look at it, tell yourself, oh, I think it would take 4 hours for me to clean this. I want to charge $50 an hour. Send the client a quote for $200. For lawn care, same thing. Oh, I think it would take me an hour and 30 minutes to mow this lawn at $50 an hour. That's going to be $75 for that quote. If you're looking for a way to send out quotes and accept payments from these clients and keep track of everything, I use Jobber, Jobber. It's a CRM software that allows you to do invoicing, quoting, keep track of all your clients, schedule their visits in. Super useful, so I recommend you look into it if you're starting this kind of business or any in-person service business, really. Now, you know how you're going to quote your clients, but what happens if a client approves and actually wants them to be serviced? This business, we want to keep it fully remote, but it's an in-person home service. So how do we do it? We outsource. We find another company in the area to service the client in person, and we pay them a cheaper price than what the client pays us. That's what your profit is. Your profit is the difference between what the client pays and what you pay the outsourcer. You already have your pricing down, so you just want to pick up the phone, start calling companies and offering them 50% of what you're going to charge out to the client. So if you're doing cleaning and you're charging $50 an hour per cleaner, you want to call around, call other companies in the area and ask them, hey, would you be able to do cleaning services for $25 an hour? That way you'll have 50% margins on all the services. You just call around until you find someone who agrees. Now you're prepared. You know what you're going to charge and you have someone who's going to do the work. So the next part or the last phase of this is generate. And it's all about generating revenue, baby. So let's break down the workflow so you know exactly what to do when you get your first lead. First, you're going to get a lead, and I will go into detail about where these leads are coming from in a second here. Then you're going to ask, hey, what kind of service do you need? Deep clean, standard clean, move out clean. And then you're going to quote them based off the pricing chart you already have set. After the client approves the quote, you're going to reach out to your outsourcer. You're going to schedule a day that works for both you and the client and the outsourcer and get them booked in. I would schedule this job in Jobber if you're using that CRM. And if it's a repeat customer, you can set it for a reoccurring job so it auto bills and auto sets up the subscription each month. So on autopilot, your outsourcer goes and services them, and then your system automatically bills them, and you don't have to do anything. It's essentially passive income from there, assuming your outsourcer is doing a good job at the property. And with this system, it'll automatically notify the client every single time you're coming, so they're prepared for it, and you really don't have to do anything from here on out. The only thing you need to know now is how to get clients. So there's 2 options. First is the paid option, where you're running ads on Google or Meta. The second is the free option, where you're doing cold outreach, door-to-door, messaging people in Facebook groups, things like that. You can even try cold calling commercial businesses and offering them your in-person services like lawn care or cleaning services. A lot of commercial properties get this done anyways, so they're great people to cold call. Whereas if you're cold calling residential clients, the likelihood that they have a cleaner, very low. It's not an overly common thing. Running ads is not hard. Platforms like Meta or Google are literally designed to help you get clients for as cheap as possible. They want you to make an ROI, or return on your investment, on your marketing spend, because that's the only way you're going to keep spending money on their platform. They have the most advanced machine learning system so that your ads get better over time without you having to lift a finger. And you can always learn how to set up ads super easily by just watching a tutorial on YouTube. To get started on this with my help, you can click the link in my description to apply for my business startup program. In this, you and I will work one-on-one together, setting up the entire business from scratch so you're generating revenue within the first few weeks. Here's what the 6-week roadmap is going to look like for you. The first 1 to 2 weeks will be spent planning the business, figure out what it is you're going to do and where you're going to do it. You will fully understand the industry you're getting into and know exactly what it is you're going to offer. In weeks 2 to 4, you'll be getting everything in place so that you can actually operate this business. You'll be prepared for clients to reach out to you, and you'll know exactly how to price out the services the clients are requesting. And you'll even have someone ready to go to get the job done. Lastly, in weeks 4 to 6, you'll already start getting paid from the client. At the start of this period, we're going to be optimizing the marketing campaign so you're getting even more bang for your buck. And the remainder and beyond is going to be you operating this business, signing clients up, and generating an income online. I hope you're excited for the journey you're about to start. I certainly am for you, because starting a service business and generating money online has completely changed my life. And not only for myself, but the 50 other clients that I've done and helped set this up for too. So I 100% know that this is a possibility, something that you and literally anyone can do. But I'm not going to stand here. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to say you don't have to put the work in, because you definitely do. So I encourage you to really just settle down and put the work in this year. And I promise to you, the end result is going to be a lot more worth it than you'll ever know. And if you were someone who thought about starting a drop shipping business or a SaaS or a marketing or AI agency, I know for a fact that this business model will be 10 times easier than any of those other ones. So if you try to set that up and it was difficult and that's what's scaring you away from this, I promise you this is so much easier. You just have to give it a shot. It'll cost you less money, less time, and less of a headache setting up, and you'll have a higher success rate than any of those other business models you may have or may have not tried. If you want to learn about someone who's had success with this business that has personally worked with me, you can check out this video here where I go over a testimonial with one of my previous clients who made almost $10,000 in his first month.